right, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this is, it's like been like a saga on this, like going on in the last week, and it's basically the saga between Joe Rogan and Sanjay Gupta, who is the chief medical officer of CNN. And if you've been following the story, you would realize that, it just keeps getting wackier and wackier every couple of days, because there's just, there's an action and then a reaction and then more action and then more reactions. And it started off, if you're not familiar, I should play the clip.
So for you, Joe Rogan.
Yes.
I would say you've had it.
Yes.
So now get one shot of the vaccine.
No.
Why not?
Because I have better immunity than I would if I was vaccinated. Right?
Yes.
Don't I?
I think your immunity is really good.
So why, if I've already gotten through COVID and I was really only sick for a day, and then 5 days later I was negative, and I do have the natural antibodies now, why would I take a chance in getting vaccinated on top of that?
By the way, I'm glad you're better. I'm glad it only lasted a day.
You're probably the only one at CNN that's glad.
No. We're not.
The rest of them are all lying about me taking horse medication. We should talk about that.
That bothered you.
It should bother you too. They're lying at your network about people taking human drugs versus drugs for veterinary.
Calling it a horse dewormer is not a flattering thing. I get that.
It's a lie. It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie that's a willing. That's a lie that they're conscious of. It's not a mistake.
Yeah.
They're unfavorably framing it as veterinary medicine.
Well, the FDA put this thing out. You saw that. Did you see that thing that the FDA put out?
What did the FDA put out?
It was a tweet, and it was snarky. I admit it. They said, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow, stop taking this stuff," or something like that.
Why would you say that when you're talking about a drug that's been given out to billions and billions of people, a drug that was responsible for one of the inventors of it making the Nobel Prize in 2015?
Yeah,
a drug that's been shown to stop viral replication in vitro. You know that, right? Why would they lie and say that's horse dewormer? I can afford people medicine, motherfucker. This is ridiculous. It's just a lie. But don't you think that a lie like that is dangerous on a news network when you know that they know they're lying? You know that they know that I took medicine, like, here it is. This is ivermectin.
You got it with
right
you.
Here. Somebody gave it to me.
All right, hang on. The thing is, we're like going so fast. Like, I feel like
We're going so fast. Yep, the train has left the station, Gupta. Far out.
I'm missing.
Do you think that's a problem, that your news network
It's out of the bag?
Well, I don't.
Dude.
What did they say?
They lied
What did
and
they
said
say?
I was taking horse dewormer. First of all, it was prescribed to me by a doctor.
Yeah.
Along
They
with
shouldn't have said
a
it was
bunch
horse.
of other
If
medications.
if you got a human pill, because there were people that were taking the veterinary medication, and you're not, obviously. You got it from a doctor, so that it shouldn't be called that. Ivermectin can be a very effective medication for parasitic disease, and as you say, it's probably, I think, what, 250 million people have taken it around the world?
More,
I get that.
Way more.
So,
way more. Billions of people have taken it.
Can I just come back to the one I want to talk about?
Let me just quickly interject and just say that this is the first of many different things. So after this happens, because after he gets the floor mopped with himself, he basically ends up going on to CNN, back to CNN where he comes from, and telling them that he felt intimidated by this whole thing and he felt forced. But don't take my word for it. We'll play the clip.
Two things on the ledger. You have, before we get to that, does it bother you that the news network you work for out and out lied, just outright lied about me taking horse dewormer?
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
You didn't ask? I didn't think that was you're the medical guy over there.
I didn't ask. I should have asked before coming on your podcast.
But they did it with such glee.
No,
yes,
Joe.
They did. I watched.
I watched.
You
watched? No, I don't think there's
yes,
a glee.
They did.
No one takes.
Joe Rogan says she's taking livestock drug despite warnings. Yeah.
Jamie had to pull this up.
You want to play it?
Does she?
This is your news network.
I'm gonna watch.
Let's see.
I'm gonna watch.
Rogan telling his 13 million Instagram followers that he was treated with several drugs, and he included ivermectin on the list, a drug used for livestock. The FDA and the CDC warn against using to treat COVID.
Turns out I got COVID. Look, they put a
So
yellow
we
filter on me
immediately
too.
kitchen sink.
It is unbelievable what people think they... Well, in this day and age, as a major news network, you can't be putting a filter on someone's... You know, that you're tampering with footage to suit your agenda. It should be illegal if you ask me. But anyway. Caught in the act. Shame on you, CNN.
They did.
It's monoclonal.
You see the original
antibodies,
video versus that? I look like shit there.
Z-Pack,
Do you know that?
I think you look good.
Pause. That's enough.
Prednisone.
I don't
That's
think
enough, Jamie.
I don't think Aaron had glee.
Oh, well, it's more Brian Stelter was the gleeful one. But the point is, that's a lie.
It can be used for humans. I get it. I totally.
Not just could be used for humans, is often used for humans along with all the other drugs I took. All human drugs.
Yes.
They know it's a human drug.
It's right. But
and they lied.
the thing
It's defamatory.
it is yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
It's defamatory, right?
Well, I don't know if it's defamatory.
I bet it is.
I'm not aware.
It's a
He's
lie.
dragging anchor now.
See, here's the thing. You can have nuanced discussions about this.
No,
right?
you can't.
Yeah,
you can't have nuanced discussions about lying about someone taking horseshoe
There
worm.
was no glee, by the way, from her. She
Wow,
was.
I
I don't
didn't
think
watch her.
anyone takes people's illness.
Oh, yes, they do.
They don't want you to get
stop it.
sick, Joe.
Yes, they do.
They
were
want you to get
upset that
sick.
I got healthy. That's one thing they didn't report on. The fact that I was negative 5 days later and working out 6 days later.
Well,
6 days after infection, I was back in the gym.
I'm glad.
Felt great.
I'm glad you do. I really
Me
am.
too.
I think
Thank you.
Most of the
I'm
people.
glad you're glad. You're a nice guy.
Most of the people I know, I think, would be glad that you. I don't think that there was any
There's
glee.
a lot of people out there that weren't glad. But my point is, you're working for a news organization. If they're lying about a comedian taking horse medication, what are they telling us about Russia? What are they telling us about Syria? Do you understand that that's why people get concerned about the veracity of the news?
The
The veracity of the news. Exactly. Look, you can't sink lower than that. And you know, I've got my own theories about what's going on, but I don't think it's so far-fetched to believe that CNN and the FDA are in cahoots about, you know, and I live in Australia. I'm watching from here, thinking, and I can see that the FDA and CNN are in cahoots with, you know, ivermectin is cheap. Could that have something to do with it? And other COVID medications, we're all been mandated to get shot up with. You have to pay for it. It's expensive. And you know, these are questions that need to be asked, but so easily today we just skim over the facts and we're fed this kind of program to digest through the media. And I'm starting to see holes in it. What can I say? You know? And this clip right here gets at the very heart of that, is that here's a puppet talking to someone with free speech, and he is confined and constrained by what he can say because of this, you know, this job that he has and this title that he has and his whole life's tied into. And let's face it, it's just a load of horseshit, really.